The great Jay Woods himself joins us now to kick off the show. Thanks for being here.
Hey, always good to be here, especially on an update.
We had 4 down days before this update. What have you seen more broadly for price action that stands out to you today?
What do I see? I see a lot of relief in this rally. We got some economic data in the CPI that kind of surprised us. And it was a good surprise, but a surprise that, let's look at this data, how it came out, and, what did the shutdown do to affect the CPI. But we were expecting 3.0%, we got 2.7%, which shows that inflation is cooling. But what we want to see is a trend. So we want one more print of a full month of real data to, before we make the decision of whether or not that Fed will make a cut in January. That was the one thing that surprised me. If you look at the odds of a rate cut between yesterday and today for that January meeting, they're relatively the same. When inflation ticks down 0.3% and we're concerned about it, it should be all systems go for a rate cut. No one really budged. So we've got some time before we can get confident that the Fed is going to cut in January.
I learned from you the trend is your friend, but the trend's been hard to discern given how long the federal government shutdown was. We finally have some economic data here for the Fed, the new look Fed in 2026, which will include a handful of new names. Neil
4 new voters
comes to mind, a handful of others. What does this do in terms of Fed consideration to stay data dependent for the January meeting?
Well, I think independence of the Fed is the most important thing. I think it's going to be stressed in Powell's 3 final meetings. The next 3 meetings, he's going to be looking about his legacy, and that legacy is things went pretty well while he was in charge. We did have that soft landing or possibly no landing. History will judge, but we avoided a major
As the kids like to say, we're so back. Welcome back to the show. You're watching Taking Stock, still live here with the great Jay Woods on the trading floor of the New York Stock Exchange.
I just kept talking the whole time we were off. It was unbelievable.
Well, this is, but honestly, even when the cameras aren't rolling, this is the same stuff you and I talk about as if we're just having a beer anyway, and that's how we roll here.
Which we will do after this taping.
We certainly will later on today.
Yes.
Talk to me about a few stocks that are at the top of your radar as we turn the page into 2026.
Well, today it's about Micron. Not on top of radar for 2026, but it's following a trend. Now, Micron gapped up on an amazing quarter, one of their best ever. They are crushing it fundamentally. It gapped up, but it did not make a new high. Let's see how it goes over the next few days. If it can continue that upward trajectory, watch 264.75. That is the high. We saw this with Broadcom, symbol AVGO, and NVIDIA, both making new highs before their earnings, great earnings, and they failed to go higher. We're seeing consolidation in the semiconductor space. That is part of the rotational theme going into 2026, where these stocks that are crushing in all metrics are losing momentum. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is puzzling when I own these stocks and they're doing great, yet they didn't make new highs. So watch rotation. And speaking of that rotation, we have earnings any second now from FedEx. Federal Express up 33% in the last 6 months, about to make new highs. If it can do so, watch the transportation average. That broke out as well. So when we talk about rotation, semis and tech lagging, transports of all sectors starting to look good, and then staples starting to catch some bids. We had General Mills, the oft-forgotten General Mills, the Golden Grams tricks, and of course Cheerios maker. They broke a big downtrend, and I like looking for bottoms in charts. This is not the most exciting thing in the world, but General Mills, some of the staples starting to turn, which tells me investors are broadening out their portfolio, but they're doing it with safer stocks. And then finally, I'll give you one stock that's not safe, pick for next year, Tesla. Elon Musk is back. Remember he was in Washington for a while?
I remember this whole thing.
It got a little turmoil, little problems. Well, he is finally focused on what? His pay package, which is all incentive laden, and 2, robotics, SpaceX. So I think 2026 could be the year of Musk. And watch Tesla. It broke out not just on a yearly time frame, on a 5-year time frame. It hasn't gone anywhere in 5 years. It's starting to move. That momentum should lead it, and it should be the leader of the Mag 7, that and Alphabet, next year, while the others may be more of a lag 7.
Possible SpaceX IPO
Yeah.
That would only be his
how
second
great would that
public.
look right here?
We'll take a look. Jay Woods, thank you for sticking with us today, and thank you for kicking off the broadcast.
You got it.
Great to have you.
Always a pleasure, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, one and all. Why am I saying it? You'll see me before the new year. Talk to you soon. I'll see you later.